Hello there, and welcome to our timely review, for us at least, of Ratchet Clank, A Rift Apart.
I was waiting for you to say the wrong name again.
Yeah, that was our second time going. I said the wrong name for some reason.
No, that was our fourth time going. Don't let them fool you.
Yes, joining me as always, the Sith Holocron, Naomi. How you doing today? And of course, as always, it's me, the Jedi Holocron, Tyler. We are here today to review Ratchet Clank, A Rift Apart, because Naomi finally got a PS5.
I did finally get a PS5.
I was able to nab it off GameStop for her like a month ago now?
Yeah, something like that.
A month ago.
We could have done this review like 3 weeks ago.
But we
haven't recorded anything in a while.
Yeah. We haven't recorded at least in a month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. We gotta get through that backlog, you know?
Yeah.
But we are here to review the PS5 exclusive, the first pure PS5 exclusive game from the PlayStation First Party. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, Returnal, technically. But that was, Housemarque wasn't first party until a few months after that. They bought them after it. But the first purely built for the ground up.
For the PS5.
To take advantage of all the beautiful tech. Ratchet and Clank. And
this is also after quite a series hiatus.
Yeah, 2016.
2016 was the previous one, and that was just because of the movie. The last mainline one was in 2013.
Which one was that?
Into the Nexus.
Into the Nexus.
So I am a longtime fan. I have played all but 3 games in this franchise.
Into the Nexus being one of them.
Into the Nexus being one of them.
Why haven't you played that one?
I'll have the image on screen of of how I distinguish the games in between 4 distinct eras.
Yeah.
The ones that I haven't played are Secret Agent Clank, because I'm pretty sure that one's PSP exclusive, and I never had a PSP. Quest for Booty, because it's basically a DLC.
That one just sounds cool, though.
It came out in that weird era, because Tools of Destruction was a launch title for the PS3. Okay. So this was before DLC was super commonplace.
Yeah.
Quest for Booty is a DLC, but it's a separate game.
But you can stand alone and buy it.
Yeah, you can stand alone. That's what I mean. It counts as a separate game, but it's DLC sized. And then Into the Nexus. Into the Nexus I never played just because I heard it was really short. It's hard to not beat that game in one sitting from what I've heard.
Oh, that's strange, yeah.
And just it wasn't good from what I've heard. But yeah, otherwise I've played all of them. I played all the original ones in PS2. I played Size Matters as well on PS2. And then
size does matter.
I like that the PS2 era ones are all kind of sexual innuendos.
Yeah,
Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, and Size Matters.
I think you got Quest for Booty.
Well, that's PS3.
But still, they're all innuendo-y.
But then there's Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time, which aren't.
A crack?
That's pushing it.
Yeah, that's reaching.
A Crack in Time is also one of my favorite games.
Just period?
Mm-hmm.
Not just Ratchet games, just games period.
Games period, yeah. That was...
Don't worry about what that was.
Dumbass.
A giant box fell. Don't worry about it.
Because Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time were really kind of the first 2 in the franchise that had more of a story.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is connected to that, kind of.
Yeah.
I think Into the Nexus is too.
Yeah, I think but
this one's more so.
Yeah, this is after the events, right?
That's the weird thing, is this franchise, all the games are in the same timeline, except for 2016.
Yeah, that's a soft reboot, but not really a soft reboot.
It is a reboot.
Yeah, but they didn't continue it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the movie bombed.
Yeah. And it was a movie tie-in game too, which was weird, because they were making fun of the fact that it was a movie tie-in game in the game, and it was supposed to a meta humor.
Which is funny because the game was good, but the movie was trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this one is also the first story-heavy one since A Crack in Time. So since 2009. Except for maybe Into the Nexus again. I think that one, it sort of also connects to A Crack in Time, but I don't know.
This,
I mean, this one didn't connect to Into the Nexus, so maybe not.
Maybe not, yeah. I couldn't tell you. Because this is only the technically third
entry in
Ratchet
the
and
series.
Clank I've ever played. A Crack in Time came with my PS3 when I bought it. And I played like an hour of it. It didn't hit with me. And
Well, also, you kind of have to play Tools first to understand Crack.
And I just wasn't into that kind of like, I wasn't into platformers as much, and like I just didn't care.
I mean, it's not really a...
It's a kind of a platformer.
It's not really that platformer.
They're considered platformers when people
I
talk
don't
about
consider them platformers.
Yeah.
The PS2 era ones, yes.
Yeah.
The newer ones really don't have any platforming.
Yeah. But yeah, then I played Ratchet and Clank 2016 about a few months ago.
Yeah.
And then I played this.
Did you play 2016 because you wanted to play this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to play
couldn't
some
remember.
Ratchet and Clank. I had played 2016 a little. I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. I'll play it sometime on my own time.
And then this one was going to come out, so you're
like PS5 exclusive, all that hardware, like
female character.
Rivet, like let's go.
If there's one trait that you guys should know about Tyler that you might not already know, is that he is a hardcore simp. His main qualification for like wanting to play a video game is if there's a woman in it.
Right. I bought the video game 12 Minutes on Steam because Daisy Ridley was in it.
Simp.
And I wouldn't have bought it if she wasn't in it. I would have just played it on Game Pass.
Simp. I'm just stating objective fact here. You have a woman bias. I mean, so do I, but I'm also a woman, so that...
Yeah. Women are cool. Like, what
That's fair. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just stating fact.
Yes, I know. I have simp tendencies.
Well, and also this game has a lot of really cool mechanics that were shown off.
Yeah. And it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to play this game. And yeah, I don't have much experience with the franchise.
The PS2 era ones, specifically Up Your Arsenal and Deadlocked, and then also Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time. Those 4 games are some of my most played games ever. I've replayed A Crack... From like 2010 or whenever I got it until like 2017, I played it once a year.
Damn,
I played A Crack in Time every year, at least once.
Yeah, that's what I heard is everyone's favorite.
Yeah, Crack in Time's really good.
The one before it, right?
Tools of Destruction.
Yeah.
Because Tools of Destruction is the first entry of that. This is sort of the third entry in that series.
Yeah. The interesting thing about playing for my first Ratchet and Clank really being 2016, which worked because it was like technically like a remake of the first game.
Yeah.
But also like I did not care about the story in that game at all.
Yeah.
I was like skipping cutscenes and shit. I'm like, this is
because it's also, it's pretty much the same plot as the game from 2002, which isn't like a super plot heavy game.
Yeah. But the gameplay, that's where these games thrive.
Yeah. None of the early ones until Tools of Destruction were really like renowned for story. Mm-hmm. I like the kind of story in Deadlocked because that's just you're basically a Roman gladiator. And that's kind of just the whole plot of the game.
Are you just like in a Coliseum just like I can fight and shit?
You're like a slave in a Coliseum and the whole game is just trying to get out.
Yeah.
Deadlocked's really good. But yeah.
Let's
just establishing our history.
Our history with the franchise. So let's hop into it. Ratchet and Clank, A Rift Apart. What do you think?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. First time
easily
I ever
the best
one
one since A Crack in Time.
Oh yeah, I don't even have to have played those games to know.
Yeah, because there's the weird era in between.
Yeah, there's the weird era.
I think an important thing, a good indicator of how good a Ratchet and Clank game is going to be is by its arsenal.
Yeah.
Like,
that's one of the most important.
One of the most important things is how good the guns are, how many there are a lot of the times. This game had a huge arsenal and a lot of really good like ideas for them. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of them, especially in the more like later times, kind of just became just reusing guns from previous games. Mm-hmm. This game didn't reuse that many.
Yeah, there was only like a few.
There was the Warmongers reused, the Buzzblades,
the Pixelator, was that in
the
there?
Pixelator and the Bouncer.
Yeah.
I think those are the only 4. I think everything else is original.
Yeah,
I like.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are similar. Like, obviously, the bomb throwing glove is always the same, even if it's going by a different name.
Yeah.
But, like, at least it has that little distinction instead of
Right.
just being exactly the same.
And there was, like, a Zircon-like weapon, but it just wasn't Zircon. It was, like, another thing you threw. But
that one was, yeah. It was more like a reskin, at least, instead of just being completely taking the same gun.
Yeah.
Buzz Blades have been in every game since Tools of Destruction. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
And so I was very happy with the arsenal in this game right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because this game had a lot of guns.
It had so many.
It had enough to reach the 3rd ring.
Yeah, I don't think...
Which is uncommon.
Yeah.
The one that this game probably still doesn't have a bigger arsenal than Going Commando, which is the second game. That game had a fucking enormous... That game I think it had 40 guns in Going Commando.
Like, you just got all of them?
Yeah.
You could hold all of them?
Yeah.
Damn.
That game had an absurd number of guns.
Yeah, that's absurd.
But this game has... But also in that game, they could only level up once.
Yeah. This game has about, like, 20, right?
Something like that.
There's, like, 8 on each screen, and then there's, like, 4 on the last screen.
Yes.
That's my math. I don't know if that's accurate, but...
Yeah. No, yeah, your math is right. That's 20. It is exactly 20 weapons. Counting the 2 that you can only get in New Game Plus.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually surprised, too, about this game. How much I cared about the story. It was like... Because, like, as I said, I've ever Ratchet Clank game I played before this. I haven't cared about the story. Just a gameplay. Which was fun, but, like, I cared about it.
I liked that it was connected to the plot line of largely Tools of Destruction more, because the plot line of Tools of Destruction is basically entirely about the Dimensionator.
Yeah, and that's what you were telling me. Like, they get the Dimensionator and building it, and then what do they end up doing with it in those games?
Well, because originally it already existed because the Lombaxes used it to escape to another dimension.
Yeah.
And the antagonist of that game got it, and Ratchet wanted to use it to find the Lombaxes, but then the more it was being used, the more it was, like, messing things up. Mm-hmm. So they ended up destroying it.
Mm-hmm. That was, like, a nice way to start the game, and be able to, like... It was a good way to, like, use the lore that they already established to do cool things with the tech.
Yeah.
To start out the game with, like, here, Ratchet, I want you to go find the Lombaxes. I know this is probably a bad idea, but here you go.
Yeah. And, like, that also ties in with, like, the plot of A Crack in Time, because the antagonist in that game is another Lombax who got left behind and really wants to find a way to find them. So, like, kind of the whole point of Tools of Destruction A Crack in Time is that he shouldn't hunt the Lombaxes, which is why he's so against it in this one.
Yeah.
Because he's afraid of it happening again.
Yeah. Turns out that fear was justified.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that also gave, like, the best mechanics in this game.
Oh, yeah. Just,
the
like...
dimension shit.
And going through the rifts and, like... Yeah.
Like, it'll be funny. Like, I kind of want that to become a series staple.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's cool. Yeah, you, like, be able to, like, teleport, like... And
the pulling never got old to me.
Oh, never, yeah.
It looked so cool the first time, and it looked so cool the 1000th time.
Yeah.
Because there was no, like, you know, that PS5 tech, no loading screens ever.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really notice that.
Not a single loading screen in the whole game.
That's some God of War shit right there.
That's some awesome
Take advantage
shit.
of that PS5. Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, I do like that. I also like that it starts with them in retirement.
Yeah.
Since the series has been on hiatus for a while.
5 years, yeah. It's like, we gotta have an old parade to celebrate. I'm also really glad that guy wasn't in the game that much. Quark. I don't like him.
Well, because you've only played 2016.
Yeah.
Which he is in the most. He's not in most of the games that much. I feel like he works a lot better when he's seldom shown.
Mm-hmm. What's the word I'm looking for? Tastefully sprinkled throughout the game.
He's an antagonist in the first, 2 games.
Yeah, he's the bad guy, right?
He's the main villain of Going Commando.
That's so... Yeah.
And in the first game, he is a villain.
Yeah.
But, a side villain.
Fucking selfish bitch.
Well, that's the whole... He's just a narcissist.
Yeah.
But yeah. I also really liked... just with, the dimensional stuff, seeing, the different versions of everyone.
Oh, yeah. See, that didn't hit for me as hard, but,
Because you haven't...
Because I haven't played, but, knowing little things about people, like Ratchet being confused about why this character's like acting like that and shit. Like, yeah. My favorite was Pierre.
Yeah,
Pierre the pirate.
I like him because him in Tools of Destruction or Crack in Time, he's like he's the first mate instead of the captain, and he's just like a drunkard. And then in A Crack in Time, he runs a radio station. But he's like a moron, and like speaks kind of like slurred a little because I feel like he's just shit faced all the time.
Yeah.
But here he's a Frenchman,
really moving up in the world.
Yeah.
The head pirate is French, like.
Well, and then like the real head pirate is Quark.
Oh yeah.
Once they said his name, I knew who it was.
His little bucket
Captain
on his head.
Quantum.
Quantum, yeah.
I was like, that's so obvious that it's Quark. And just like, everyone kind of had like twists on the name.
Yeah. Like there's I love like even how they did Ratchet and Rivet, like the
R&R.
The R&R, then Kit and Clank.
Yeah.
They were very good about like naming them just a little.
Just a little different.
But like also like being kind of like the same as in like tool things and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I talking about the going back to the guns a little bit again. What I had this every time I played a Ratchet game. I'm like, the thing I love about the guns and the arsenal in these games is, at first, I'm not really sold on a lot of the guns, but they do a good job of making me use them all, like all of them. Like you never just stick to one gun because you run out of ammo. Like they do a good job of making you use them all, and then I end up falling in love with all of them. Like,
that's a very consistent thing throughout the franchise. Is like you kind of have to use all of your weapons, especially in like the more later ones. Yeah. I also love that like they all or like a lot of them had like half trigger and full trigger differences.
Yeah, with taking advantage of that dual sense.
Yeah. That was really cool.
More ways to spice up the already spicy amount of guns you have.
But yeah.
Okay, so what was your favorite part of the game?
That's hard.
Or like you have a favorite world?
I did really like that a lot of the worlds were worlds that we've seen in previous games that used actually the same map layout. Like the pirate base is identical to its level in Tools of Destruction.
Okay, so I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So that's a place that already existed before.
The planet wasn't like blown up like it is in Rift Apart. At least I don't think it was in Tools of Destruction. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was blown up. But otherwise, like, the layout was, like, identical. And that was really cool.
Yeah.
I really liked the world where you get Kit. The big open area. Is
that the one where you ride the dragons? Or the creatures?
Ride the dragons?
You fly on that thing. You know how you... That's not probably... You know the one where you have to, like, shoot all...
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's one where you could fly on a creature.
Oh, no.
Okay.
This is the world where Ratchet meets Kit.
Okay.
Like the
open one?
Yeah, the open one.
Yeah, that one was cool.
I really like that level because I really love the hover boots.
Yes, the hover boots are fun.
The hover boots have been in every game, but normally it's just like a boost. A Crack in Time had this exact same hover boot system, and I was always so pissed that they never brought it back.
Right.
And now they did.
Hover boot all the time.
Yeah,
no matter where you are.
It's so fast and really fluid movement.
That was a good way to get around that big open space.
Yeah.
And explore the things.
I was so glad that they brought that back, because that was one of my favorite parts about A Crack in Time. And I'm a sucker for big open worlds like that. A lot of the older Ratchet and Clank games kind of have those, only those are also largely like collectathon areas.
Yeah. This one was kind of that too. You had to find all
It wasn't as much, though.
Not as much? Okay, yeah.
Like normally it'll be like you have to, in most of them it's like you have to find some kind of crystal and there'll be like 100 of them in this big area.
Oh, so kind of like the one where you had to get all the brains?
Yeah.
Like those kind of collectathons?
But like more.
But more.
It's
like 5 gold bolts here. Just go find them.
Going Commando had a lot of those. Or had 2 areas like that. But yeah, that was probably my favorite world also, like, because I just think those guys are funny.
The pirates?
No, the like lizard guys.
Oh yeah.
Because they're like that universe equivalent of like the mercenaries, but instead they're just like zenned out.
Oh yeah, the fucking alligator
They're like
guys.
the goons.
Yeah, Gary, right?
Gary,
the one with the rip.
He's the son of the plumber. Which is also
those guys were cool as fuck.
The plumber is a weird character because I feel like because in like the PS2 era ones he wasn't like this weird all-knowing being.
Yeah.
But they treat him like that in Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time, where he's just like an like in A Crack in Time, I think the only time you see the plumber is inside of Clank's head. Inside of his brain.
Clank has a brain?
Clank has a soul.
Whoa.
That's like part of the plot of A Crack in Time is that Clank has a soul.
Whoa, I want to build a robot with a soul.
But yeah, like I thought those guys were funny just because they were really zenned out.
Yeah, all the new characters were really. I don't know, they're not new, but like they're new to me. All the characters like I hadn't seen before really hit real well.
Yeah,
I
also like how I think this was because I think it was like Goons for Less or whatever was the name of like the mercenaries.
They weren't Goon Squad and Toon Squad.
Well, I think
that's a Space Jam reference.
But because in Going Commando, like a mercenary faction was called Thugs for Less, and I think this is like kind of the same thing,
like a play on it.
Because I think in Going Commando, I think you destroyed them, but like they hadn't been seen since. Because Going Commando was the most like disconnected game. It's the only one like a bit of a tangent. In the Ratchet Clank games, there's 3 galaxies that you go between. Mm-hmm. In the first one, Up Your Arsenal, Deadlocked, Size Matters, and Secret Agent Clank, I think it's Soliana Galaxy. Then from Tools of Destruction onward, it's the Polaris Galaxy. But Going Commando is the only one that's in I think it's the Bogon Galaxy. It is the only one in that part of space. So like, it was just kind of funny to see something from that galaxy show back up.
Yeah, it's cool. That game, this game sounds like it did a good job of connecting like all the games in it did like a soft reboot way, like where you're like,
it did a phenomenal.
If you played all, like they reward you for playing things and knowing things.
It did a phenomenal job of that. Just like all the little connectivity stuff, and especially with the alternate universe stuff and all that. Yeah, it did a very good job. Also, this also directly connects to A Crack in Time because this was Nefarious's plan in A Crack in Time to like go
break
to,
the
like,
rifts open and.
Well, it wasn't necessarily rifts originally. In A Crack in Time, he wanted control of the Great Clock so that he could make it so every villain wins.
He's like, every villain's gonna win. I don't care who you are.
But
you villain, you win.
But instead, it's just now. Instead, in Rift Apart, it's just this like dimension is cursed, so villains can't win.
Yeah.
And instead, all villains win in Rivet's dimension.
Can we talk about Rivet's Dr. Nefarious? I liked him.
Emperor Nefarious.
Emperor Nefarious was so cool. It's weird because Nefarious is such like a... Like, he's obviously a bad guy, but is he also kind of like a caricature of like a goofy bad guy?
Yeah.
And it was funny seeing like the serious version of him. Like the one who can actually... The more competent version of him. Like, he made God Emperor. The other Nefarious couldn't do that.
Because, like, the normal Dr. Nefarious is the most reoccurring villain. He was the villain of Up Your Arsenal, A Crack in Time. He was in All for One. He was in Ratchet Clank 2016. So he's, like, the only memorable villain from the franchise.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that dichotomy is great of having, like, the competent one.
Yeah.
And how he just doesn't show up until the end of the game.
Yeah. Fucking Emperor.
I also like the detail. Oh yeah, he looks
sleek as fuck, man.
I also like that he had an accent.
Yeah.
I also really appreciate the detail that he only loses when he went into the original dimension. Theoretically, potentially, he could have still just won if he would have stayed in their dimension.
Yeah.
And like the whole time, Dr. Nefarious is just like, I told you, this place sucks. We can't win here.
We're cursed.
Yeah, I liked that. and like how like weirdly intimidating it was when he showed up for the first time.
Right. You're like, oh shit, I actually should be scared of this guy.
Oh god, this is like an actual villain.
Right. Because like when I played an original Ratchet and Clank like a few months ago to get ready for this, like it was hard to take any of them super seriously. Because they're like very comical and like I said, caricature or whatever, but like
that's very by design.
Yeah. But like fucking God Emperor Nefarious.
Pretty intimidating.
Woo.
Super fascist.
Right. I like the idea that he was gone too when Nefarious got there, so he was just like, I'm going to control this shit, and then he just pops up later in the game, you're like, oh fuck. This Nefarious. You expect this Nefarious to be more competent, but not that competent, knowing the history of Nefarious is, and this guy's like...
I also like how when you're in Nefarious City, you can just hear Dr. Nefarious being like, don't question why I look different. I need updates on everything going on. For no reason. I just need to know.
Just keep me updated.
Just very poorly trying to convince people that he's the same guy.
It's like, he's like, I've decided I'm going to start micromanaging you guys now, so just tell me everything, like right now.
You have 24 hours. Get your phone off the table if it's going to keep vibrating.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Mike definitely heard it.
Yeah. Shit, my bad. But yeah, Emperor Nefarious is pretty cool.
Yeah. I know we've been all over the place, but we kind of always are.
We always kind of. I think this game also did an incredibly good job of balancing us between Rivet and Ratchet.
Yeah.
Like, giving us both enough time to play as both of them. One, to make sure we cared about Rivet, and two, just to like please the Ratchet we needed to get from Ratchet. I think it did a really good job of that.
I also like how they had the other person's partner for a lot of the game.
Yes, that was cool.
And then they kind of relayed information to each other through them when they switched robots.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot. Yeah, I think that they did a really good job of that.
This game made me like Ratchet and Clank a lot more.
Yeah.
And just like their relationship and like... I don't know if... Like, fuck it, we're gonna get into this now. Rivet and Kit. I'm obsessed with them. Especially Kit. Kit is my favorite character in this game by a fucking mile.
I'm surprised that's not Rivet.
Her story is just so good and like so sad and like I feel like I get what she's going through in some ways, like not having the confidence of like not being able to control that side of herself, like her like, but she's a robot,
her warbot
side, and then when you get the twist that she's the one that took Rivet's arm off, and like that whole thing, I love them so much.
Which is funny because Clank is also a warbot.
So he can do that?
Yeah, it looks very similar when he does it, but but Kit's looks a lot stronger.
Yeah. It's a fucking monster.
In the PS2 games, you could play as Giant Clank, and that was like his warbot form. Like, Giant Kit was designed in a very similar way to Warbot Clank, but I assume like Kit seems to be way stronger, probably because she was made by competent Nefarious.
Yeah.
But I liked that, how that kind of like brought that back, because we hadn't seen Giant Clank since fucking going commando, I don't think.
Okay, yeah. I like how she like hated who she was. Like, I don't like that.
Well, it's interesting.
It's interesting because like she knows like it's just all she sees herself as at a certain point is a weapon, and like she's like, I'm no good to anyone because I hurt people and I destroy things. And then that whole scene where like they need her to come back and she just won't, and then Rivet's like, whatever, just
give up,
just stop. I'm like, oh my god, like I care about the story Ratchet and Clank. I'm like, what is happening? I literally, after I beat the game, I got one. I'm like, Kit plushie, can I buy one? I love her so much. She's so like sweet and innocent, and like, even though she's a fucking warbot, like, I just love her.
I also like how she kind of also has a similar thing to like in the early days when Clank was around, of just kind of not knowing anything about organic people.
Yeah,
and like how they talk and stuff.
She's like kind of like. She kind of reminded me of, like, Omega in a way, where she's, like,
doesn't really know
doesn't know how, like, people function and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like...
Which is very reminiscent of, like, old Clank.
Yeah.
But now he's been around organics long enough to know.
Yeah.
Like, innocence, I always think, is really funny.
Yeah. I really hope we see more of Kit and Rivet. And
they'd be dumb to not.
Like I said, this is like a weird soft reboot kind of thing.
Well, it's not even... I mean, it doesn't reboot anything.
Yeah, but it's like a soft reset of like the franchise. It's like we're a new like point to go forward from.
Speak up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think going forward, I would hope would include both of them.
Yeah.
I think they would be kind of dumb not to.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely going to be around. It's just to what extent, really.
Yeah. I hope it's still to the same extent of being able to play as them.
Oh, yeah. I could see them, like, maybe get, like, since Insomniac is in that interesting spot right now where they were making, like, a lot of games, and they're a big studio, and obviously their next big game is going to be Spider-Man 2, but, like, maybe they do, like, a Miles Morales version of a franchise, like a small side game where it's just Rivet and Kit, like,
yeah.
After that, like, I would love that.
Rivet and Kit would be the name of it.
Yeah. Rivet and Kit. Like, that'd be cool.
I also like, how when he first met Kit, he had the determination to say her, like, full name with the numbers and everything.
Yeah.
Because that was, like, kind of a thing between him and Clank as well. Because Clank had the same, like, weird...
like, numerical name. Yeah, they all just bonded and meshed real well.
Yeah.
I
liked the prison level.
Yes, yeah, like where you're chasing after Clank.
Where you're chasing after Kit and Ratchet.
Kit and Ratchet, yeah.
Well, you're chasing they're all captured, but you get Clank really early.
Yeah.
Because you need someone to talk to.
Yeah, you need something to riff off of. Have, like, little lines of dialogue.
That's, like, a thing with, like, a lot of, like... these, like, sort of, like, classic PS2 era games, I feel like. A lot of them have, like, just, like, a little companion just to talk to.
Yeah, just so they can have dialogue that's not totally weird.
That's not just talking to yourself.
Right.
Yeah, that level I really liked. I did think it was kind of funny how they just never fixed Clank.
Yeah, he was just
broken.
He had what was his armor's like?
I think both.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he just had a... I'm like, oh yeah, they're just not going to fix him.
But then in the end credits, they show he has a yellow arm. He has, like, one of Kit's arms.
Oh, that's cool.
To, like, replace it. Since it got blown off of him.
Like, was it, like, in a picture in the credits? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember seeing that.
I looked through, I stayed and watched all the pictures.
Yeah.
It was, like, because, well, yeah, because the next game will probably be them finding the Lombaxes.
Yeah, let's talk about that. At the end of the game, we assume they're going to find the Lombaxes. That's the only thing I didn't like, is that they kind of just left us.
Well, because that's setting up the next game.
Yeah, I guess.
I bet the next game is going to be them finding the Lombaxes.
And then dealing with whatever that...
Yeah.
Whatever the consequences or the repercussions of them doing that is. I was just hoping we'd get to at least, like, see them, like, be like, we're going. Like...
Oh, well, yeah.
Or, like, let's go do that. But they just met and then it just ended. Like they're like, it's heavy implied that we know what they're doing.
Oh, that's absolutely what they're doing.
Yeah. I just wish we would have seen it. Like, I want a glimpse of them, like, of, like, hope that they're going to do what...
Well, that's what we'll see.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I know in Tools of Destruction they say... Is it just Ratchet's dad that's dead, or is it both of his parents? I can't remember. Because his mom might be with the Lombaxes. They might both be dead, though.
Who, his parents?
I think they're both dead.
So, like, they... sorry, it's been like a month since we played this.
Yeah.
So, the Rift gun, or whatever, the Dimensionator, it's destroyed again? Or do they... Oh, they need it to find the Lombaxes, right?
Yeah. I think... They had to rebuild it, because it blew up at the beginning of the game.
So they rebuilt it to try to stop them.
To fix the dimensions.
So they still have it then.
Yeah.
So they needed to go find the Lombaxes.
Well, that's the only way they can continue to interact with each other.
So the Lombax, I'm trying to get a lore sense here. Sorry. That all the Lombaxes from all the dimensions are in this one place?
From Ratchet's dimension.
From Ratchet's dimension.
And I think they might have pulled them from everywhere, since
because it didn't seem like
they're not in
Rivet's dimension didn't have any.
Yeah.
That's what I was curious. Like, are they all there, or do they have to go dimension to dimension to find Rivet's?
I think they're all there. But they came from Ratchet's dimension.
Like, they were the ones who
started. They're the ones who built the Dimensionator.
Yeah.
Because I think it was Ratchet's dad built the Dimensionator.
As a lore expert, why did all the Lombaxes go hide away?
Because the antagonist race of Tools of Destruction, the Kragmites,
wanted to genocide them?
Well, the Lombaxes genocided them. They genocided the Kragmites because the Kragmites were, like, evil and were like a plague, and like I think they were like breeding out of control, so they were just like conquering planets like crazy because there was just so many of them. The Lombaxes built the Alpha Disruptor, which was a gun you could get in Tools of Destruction that would just like vaporize them. But one Kragmite survived and like took Lombax technology and made his army and like genocided the Lombaxes. So then Ratchet's dad built the Dimensionator and got them away.
It gives me big like Lasat from Star Wars energy. Like all
they
of them
kind of look like Lasat,
and they're all like in a planet hiding.
Yeah. Only in the Lasat's case they didn't genocide anyone.
Yeah, they were the ones getting genocided.
But yeah, that's why they all ran away, was because the Kragmite guy, because Lord Tachyon.
Okay.
And then he's the one who had the Dimensionator in that game.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And then A Crack in Time is... the antagonist is a Lombax, who he's the one who let Tachyon get Lombax technology. Because he thought, like, he didn't... I don't think he knew he was a Kragmite or something. And he, like, thought he was going to help him, because they, like, adopted him, essentially.
Yeah, okay.
But then when he turned on him, he wasn't allowed to go with. They're like, no, you gotta stay here, man.
Bro, nah, you can't do this.
He was also a white Lombax, like a Rivet. It's also funny, in Going Commando, there's a Lombax that's just never mentioned again.
Like, are they in the game? Mm-hmm. That's weird.
It's it's also weird. It's also hard to say if she is a Lombax because she's also really tall.
Oh, yeah. Lombaxes are short.
Lombaxes are tiny. Like even Alistair in A Crack in Time, he's like an adult, and he's like kind of big, but he's not that much bigger than Ratchet. Whereas...
Wait, is that Ratchet's dad?
No, that's the guy who let the Kragmites get the tech. But the lady in Going Commando, whose name I don't remember, is like the size of like a normal person.
Based on this franchise's history with Rivet and Ratchet, that Lombax's name is probably Alistair, because there's Alistair and Alistair or something, you know?
But she was also in that galaxy that we only see once. I think they mention her in Tools of Destruction or something, I don't remember. Yeah. But it's just funny how she was around, but I'm assuming she's dead by this time if Ratchet's the last one in their dimension.
Yeah.
Or they just forgot.
Just forgot about her.
That's also possible.
Yeah. Well, there's only so many Lombax. There's only 2 Lombaxes.
You lose track. There's too many of them.
There's too many. Like, you can't keep
well, technically there were 3 since Alistair was still alive.
I don't know why I like the name Alistair a lot.
I like that name from that game. Like that's why I like that name.
I feel like there's an Alistair I've heard from a different franchise or a different thing. I'm like, I like that name. I would never name a person that, but like a fictional character, yeah.
He was a good antagonist.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a bad guy name for sure. Alistair.
Well, he wasn't a bad guy. He just wanted to correct his mistake. Mm-hmm. He wanted to control the Great Clock so he could go back in time and stop himself from giving the Kragmites technology. He was like, we can make sure your parents are alive.
He's like, I fucked up. I'm gonna
But like
fix
the whole
this.
point of that game is that if you time travel, it just fucks everything up.
It tends to happen with time travel.
Yeah.
You think the Flash would learn that eventually.
Which is why they had to stop him from using the clock. Even if it was to revive Ratchet's dad.
Right.
I do also want to say the Easter egg, like, all the Easter eggs in this game.
From, like, are you talking about the PlayStation ones?
Well, just, yeah.
Yeah. I actually wanted to talk about that. I didn't get all of them. Like, I got them all, but I didn't understand all the references.
All the orbs?
Yeah.
The orbs?
Yeah.
There was, it was, the first one was Sly Cooper.
Yeah. That one I understood, yeah.
Because it was like, it looks like a Lombax with a mask.
Yeah.
It's got a stick.
Yeah.
Then there was one for Jack and Daxter.
Okay.
There was one for Little Big Planet.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Fuck.
Was there one? Didn't they say someone with, like, one with, like, balls or something?
There was one for Knack.
Was there?
Yeah, there was a Knack
one.
Okay,
I that one flew over my head.
I looked it up. I looked up what all of them were at one point. I got most of them. Like, I definitely understood the Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper ones. I'm trying to remember. But I was thinking for the Rhino.
The Rhino.
All the Easter eggs with the Rhino.
I don't know.
Did you not use the Rhino that much?
The gun?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you didn't?
Which gun was the Rhino?
It's the ultimate weapon.
Oh, the one that would drop shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't use it a ton.
Like,
were some of the stuff that was dropping from other games?
One of the upgrades explicitly is like pull stuff from more dimensions or something like that, and that just unlocks a whole shitload of Easter eggs. One is you can drop the van from Sly Cooper.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
And like it blows up and then Sly is there. Then there's one where you call Jack and Daxter in. There's like a car from Uncharted 4.
Okay. I don't think I actually remember seeing these because I don't know if I upgraded that weapon enough. But I remember. I think I remember seeing these online.
The biggest one is a Thunderjaw.
Oh my god, that's great.
That one you can only summon if you point up in the sky because it's so fucking massive. But yeah, the Rhino 8 is just an Easter egg gun. It just drops.
You said that was your favorite gun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see. I don't.
That's my favorite version of the Rhino because of that.
Yeah,
there's like one where you just drop a precursor orb from Jack and Daxter. Like, there's a lot of. It's really cool stuff.
That's dope. Yeah, I didn't ever notice that. I don't think I used it
enough. It's all PlayStation
enough.
properties. I love the Thunderjaw because it's so fucking gigantic.
That's fucking great.
The Cooper van.
So we can get a Sly Cooper Ratchet Clank crossover because there's in a different rift.
Well, same thing with Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
Well, because those three franchises have always referenced each other.
They're always like intertwined.
They're
all connected in a weird, like, but not actually connected way.
There are posters for Jack 2 in Ratchet and Clank 2, and posters for Ratchet and Clank 3 in Jack 3. Like those three franchises are very connected.
Yeah.
Because they like all came out at around the same time,
and they're all the same type of games.
Yeah.
Like
just at three very different levels of difficulty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really loved that.
Yeah, that's cool as
all
hell.
the Easter eggs.
Yeah, I didn't use it enough to see that. I'm kind of mad now that I didn't.
Yeah, it was so cool. I had heard about it, and also like once I got it, I was like, oh, there's probably some cool shit with this.
Yeah, because right when the game was launching, Insomniac was tweeting a bunch of like pictures of like those games like coming from a rift.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, are they gonna be in the game? Because like people were speculating before the game came out, like, what if like part of the game's like one of the rifts you go in, and like that's the Sly Cooper rift, and it's like a tie in between all of them going forward, and it's like a way to revive all these franchises and just like keep them going.
I could see that being a thing with like a future one.
Yeah.
But obviously for this one, they wanted it to be its own thing.
Because like honestly, that's probably the only way we're gonna get like Sly and Jack games going forward.
Well, the thing was, it was on the PS3, but like there was a Sly Cooper game within the last two generations.
Yeah.
Jack and Daxter, there hasn't been a game of in forever.
Yeah.
This is the only one of those three franchises that continued.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always mad that Sanzaru made Sly 4 and set up a Sly 5 with the end and then just said we're not doing a fifth game.
Because they don't want to?
I don't know.
Or just because they couldn't?
They just said like, why set up a fifth? That's a different topic. But
yeah.
That just pissed me off. But yeah, like I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else to say about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart?
I think that's everything I wanted to talk about.
Where is it on your Game of the Year list in 2021 so far?
I don't know how many. I've only gotten like three games from this year.
Is it your Game of the Year?
Is it just this and Hitman 3 and what else came out this year that I got?
I don't know.
Is that it? Is it just those
Possibly.
two? Then yeah, right now this is my Game of the Year. Mostly because I haven't played that much of Hitman 3.
Yeah.
I mean, this probably would still be my Game of the Year anyway, but
yeah,
not to dismay Hitman 3.
No, yeah, Hitman 3 is good.
Hitman 3 is amazing.
I honestly think it is my Game of the Year as of this point. But yeah. I think that's going to change in a few days when I play Life is Strange.
See, I don't even know what else I'm going to play this year.
The Chronicles of Narnia MMO.
No,
that's not real, but I want it to be. I want to be Prince Caspian.
But yeah, I think that's
great game. Really good. Can't wait for another one. Also, like Insomniac, just keep making Spider-Man games too. That's all we need. Ratchet and Clank and Spider-Man.
Yeah, I hope they keep up with the Rift stuff.
Yeah, I'm Kit. I love you. I would die for you. I need to see you again. I will protect you with my life. Also, Rivet voiced by Femshep. Right, yeah. Well, I couldn't unhear that. Since I played Mass Effect right before I played that. There you go. That was a game you played this year, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I don't think that counts, really. Though. That doesn't count. It's just a collection. Yeah.
But we'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Tell us what you think of Ratchet and Clank. Leave it in the comments. Tell us what your game of the year is. Tell us if Kit's the best character in this game. Just tell us all your thoughts. Your favorite gun. Your favorite Narnia character. Tell us everything.
Tell me if Into the Nexus is even worth playing ever.
And tell me if I should play other Ratchet and Clank games, but I probably won't go back for any of them. Only future games.
You should play Tools of Destruction and Crack in Time.
I'll play the reboots. I mean, like the remasters. PS5.
Crack in Time is really good.
PS3, though. It's hard to access.
I'll download a fucking ROM of it.
But yeah, until next time, guys. It's brutal out here.